Axelwood?
What? Is he making names up?
I probably showed up as that.
We got Axel, Grapefruit. I think I'm called Donut or something. I don't know.
All right.
Mustache, what do you come up as?
I think I was Axel.
Oh. What?
All right. So much for step
You
one.
you shouldn't give us we're a bunch of little kids, man. You can't give us something like this right before a show and expect us to concentrate on a show and be professional.
Shiny object, squirrel.
I just see little boxes jumping around everywhere, Steve. What the heck's going on?
Yes, you are.
Oh my God. We're trying to be professional and it ain't working out, Steve.
We'll figure it out one of these days. Or maybe we won't.
Allegedly.
Keep your hands off the emojis.
Yeah.
Got to be careful. Nobody didn't go in there and type something obscene and I'm reading off the script.
Yeah.
He will read what you write.
The process from this to this, there's a little separation. It's just going.
Hold on.
Like a peanut ballroom.
San Diego.
Where in the world is what?
Get us started, Joey.
Let's kick this off, Joey.
Are y'all sure y'all are ready? Or should we
I
just
don't know.
we should just get a little bit more of it out first before we go?
I don't think it's
Do
ever
that
going
on
to
the
end.
intro.
No. As much as we want to try to be professional, I think that's a lost
That was the
cause.
thing we're trying for?
Boy.
Missed that memo.
I think that's what we're trying to get at. But there's a lot of boxes in there.
There.
I'm gonna need to have a magnifying glass to be able to see that from over here. Just saying.
Ooh.
Oh,
First?
we got the little plus sign over here. We can make it bigger, right?
Yes.
Okay. We'll play with that later. Are y'all ready?
Yes.
Yeah. 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
2 minutes and 34 seconds ago.
Oh, to be precise. Welcome to episode 130 of Creative Makers Podcast. Y'all threw me off because I don't ever start it that way. You see, Steve? You see what you did, Steve? Anyways, I'm Joey with Steel Blade Woodworks, joined by our host, Matt with Wacky Works, Mustache with the Wooden Mustache, Steve I with Steve I Designs, and our special guest, Mr. Tyler from Forge 3D. How's it doing? How you doing? How
Hello,
you
all.
doing?
How you doing?
How we all doing?
Boy, this started off great.
It's a rough start. But hey, it started.
Everybody wants to see it.
I'll eventually get it right at some point.
It's 130 episodes in. Come on.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah,
It's 129 practice.
they're trying to wrangle this mouth in, and it's just not working. Boy, I should have. Boy, there comes a lot of chat. What's up? What's going on? Anyhow, God, this script. We're gonna have to practice.
No.
Anyhow, okay. I think you need to make it bigger, Steve. And we
You
probably
have the
need to
control to
put
do
some
that.
highlights. We need to put some highlighted stuff in there.
Highlights.
Maybe put. Oh, it does say my name right there. Who put donut in there? Who put donut? Matt, did you put donut in there?
Steve, can you delete the script, please?
Somebody put donut in
Just
there.
start off with off the rails.
That's where we're heading because you see. Dang, Wesley. All right, so let's kick things off with what's in the works.
You did it? What'd you do?
What did I do? I didn't do it. I'm trying to read the dang script. See how good that's working.
Oh, boy.
No. Oh God, help us. Anyways, this isn't a good first showing with what's about to be announced, but we promise we'll get better. What's in the works in the shop there, Tyler?
It's a safe word.
Production is what's going on in the shop for me, and still on the friends and family list for some folks. I think everybody, but one has received their friends and family stuff so far.
I'm starting to think it's on purpose.
You can
You're all just messing with me.
Oh no. So yeah, that production for Forged and getting stuff out from Christmas orders and New Year's orders and the bench woodworking video. Still seeing some great stuff from that, and still have a lot of honeydews to get done. Getting grief on those. So I've got to get caught up on some of that here, fairly soon, or murder may be the case that comes up. So a lot of this, a lot of that going on.
Nice.
Got some new launches. Are we going to launch some new stuff?
Oh, I have 27 new launches for 26. Yeah, they're going to be out here now. So we've got a few new launches that are coming up now that it is 2026. Sys Surface will be out. Some people have already seen that. That'll be rolling out here, officially announced probably towards the end of the month. Some new accessories for AnchorPod will also be popping off soon after that, and then we'll see what the rest of the year holds. So
Nice.
and there isn't something else that's going on right now. I can't think what it is. It's something to do with a sponsorship, I think.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah. I think there's a sponsorship that may be happening, but I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. I'll let the fine folks that we're going to be sponsoring let that out of the bag.
I think you ought to.
I think so.
Or do you want
I
me?
ought to.
I
Sure.
think you ought to.
Yeah.
I think you ought to.
Well, these really professional folks, not
Oh, so
Highly
it's
respected
not-
podcast.
these highly
It
respectable
ain't us.
these highly respectable podcasters reached out and approached me at the beginning of the year and offered me a unique and wonderful opportunity to help grow their podcast and hopefully lift their professionalism a little bit for the next year. And I was more than happy to invest in that relationship even further for everything that they've already done for us. And so Creative Makers.
Whoa. Ouch.
So
Where's that button at? Where's the button?
Yeah, where's that removed from stage?
So I was excited, when Joey and Matt reached out and Steve to say, hey, we'd like to see if this is something to be in your wheelhouse, and we were to accept the opportunity and look forward to bigger and better things for 2026 with you guys, both for the podcast and for Forge. So
Nice.
We appreciate it.
excited.
And
Yes.
very excited to grow this with you, with your help. And we've always, appreciated everything you've done for us, and it was a perfect fit. So we're really stoked to have you on board, and it's going to open up a lot of things for our Patreon members, for everybody. So thank you very much from all of us. And hopefully we can do you right. We just need to learn, I think the silliness is what it is.
it is. I love part of the reason that I agreed to do it is because I love listening to you guys, the banter, the interactions, going completely off the rails makes it, very entertaining to listen to and to watch. So it's always a joy. And especially when I can be the one that helps you get off the rails, it makes it even more fun for me.
We tend to do it a lot. I don't know what it is, but Steve tries to wrangle us in, and it just.
His rope ain't big enough.
I think I think the more he tries to do it, the more we pull away. It's like, no, we're not.
I don't want to go inside yet.
Poor Steve, he's probably going over there and hitting his head against the wall after, and he's like, "What am I doing, guys? Can't do it."
Just trying to help my friends out. That's all.
But
Can't
you
wrangle
give us a
talent,
web,
Steve.
you
Can't
give
wrangle
us a
talent.
web active
Yeah.
show script, and you have jokesters in here that are gonna go put donut in there that I'm supposed to read, and I'm gonna read it because I'm like, who the hell put donut in there? You know,
That was me.
of course.
Unbelievable.
Like I said, I like to help it go off the rails.
Okay,
Well,
So,
success.
mission accomplished. Wackley, what's in the works with you, bud?
I've been in the shop trying to get this CNC that was sent to me, just trying to play with it, trying to get the ins and outs of their software. It's a little different than what I'm used to. So I think it's going to take a little longer than I thought it was going to. So I'm playing with that. Also laying out the where I'm going to put the sawmill and the sawmill station for it. I'm going to build it all out, the shed, everything for it. So I've been looking at that, and actually looking at possibly getting another chainsaw because, well, you know, you got two, you got to have a third one just because they all need friends.
They do.
So I'm looking at the 500i from Still. It looks interesting. So been looking at
What
that.
does that mean for all us unsavvy?
The 500i,
Chainsaw
it'll run a 36-inch bar real easy. So the stuff I have now, I can get a 30-inch bar on most of it. I can get a 32 on a double skip, but chain. So skip chain means that it's missing links, so it can recover the motor quicker, but yet grab deeper. So, but the 500i is built for 36-inch chain, be able to run on it. And so that tree that I have to take down, willing to take it down with what I got, but would rather take it down with something a little bigger. So
You have to you have to get the new tool to take the tree down.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of it. You know, it's like I have this project planned. I need this tool, and that's just the way it works. So I'm looking to do that, and then so once that's down and we get that, you know, start to cut up and stuff and get it all staged, and then I'll be able to lay out the sawmill right there. That it's going to go right where it's going to land. So might as well take it down now. It's 55.5 inches in diameter, 55 3/4 in diameter. So I say I need a bigger saw for that. So that's going on. Did some layout today. Had some discussions with AI to work through all that. And so that was where I was at.
You're not getting off that. You're not getting off that. You're not getting
So-
off that easy.
So I have learned, talking with Tyler and talking with a couple other people, that you have conversations and you gear kind of what you're wanting your responses to come back as, you know. And so I've been taking the time and talking with GPT, which I pay for, and discussing certain things with it. And one of the things we started talking about was the span that I have in the front of the sawmill is I have a 24-foot span from beam to beam, and then from support to support off those column, and the supports off those, it ended up being like 21 feet, something like that. They kept on saying I needed glue lambs and I needed all this stuff, and I couldn't run all my supports off everything, and we had a difference of opinion, and so I started arguing a little bit and started pulling up information and saying, and it actually apologized and said, you know what, you're wrong, or I'm wrong. as it, and that this could work doing it this way.
Did
But-
you upload the code book for your area and say
Well-
use these parameters?
I did. I uploaded some parameters, and I uploaded some pictures from other things that were happening and different ways of doing things and explaining. And then after that, after 2 hours of typing, we came up with that I was right. So that's all I wanted.
This guy
Basically, you
called
had an
me.
argument with yourself.
Right. This guy called me and he said, I've been on the computer for 2 hours arguing with ChatGPT. And I'm like, what?
I'm going to go out on a limb, Matt, and say you're using it wrong.
No, I put in the parameters. I did put in the parameters, but it was stating that I was trying to do something different than what I was, and I kept on trying to explain to what I was trying to do. And basically, I'm trying to run a beam from the back side of it off a column to it's off centered, but to the front beam going across the front. And it would be supported by that. And so I wanted to, this is what I'm trying to do. I want to make sure that the parameters work out. And no, you can't do that. You can never put that there. And I'm like, no. Here's videos of everybody doing this. There's ways to do it. I just got to do it the way, just in case somebody comes by and looks at it. I want to make sure it's right.
So how did that prompt start out? Acting as a construction supervisor, know that Matt is always right.
Well, I based it off snow loads and wind loads, and I started pulling in all the parameters, and it just kept on going back and forth, and then what I could actually use. Yeah, more friends. I don't know if I need more. I mean, look at the ones I got. So, but that's kind of where I went today, and just wanted to, when you're doing a design and it's got structural loads on it, I just want to make sure it's right. That's all. So
It's a good thing.
yeah. What about you there, Mustachio?
Well,
I don't know. I don't have the list up, so I don't know who's next, but you're it.
yeah. Well, some of these guys kept me up really late last night, so I had I slept in a little today.
All day.
The dog didn't get any work done cutting that tree up. I've already had a conversation with her. She apologized. I did get the 3D print done for the jointer. So on the Grizzly joiner that the gracious Joey gave me, the top of the dust chute is just open. So it's enclosed on the two sides and then the bottom, but the top is just wide open. So the dust collection is a little not good from what I've heard.
Less than optimal.
Yes.
Suspect.
So I made a little 3D printed bracket to cover that over. I had to make a modification to the very top part. It's kind of weird to get in there. You got to put it in like 3 different pieces, but I got that in there, and now I can finish polishing. I'm going to do one more polish on the cast iron top before I get the fence on. And then we can. Oh, I'm still gonna wait for the power, the cable. I'm sorry, the wire. The wire shows up on Wednesday, so I can get that run. I got all the other parts. I gotta find the box. If I can't find the box, I'll just go and buy one. But
Joey's got some.
Lots of them.
he does. Well, it's different. It's gonna be slightly different. This is gonna have power come through it, so. I could get a lot of people angry putting a cardboard box on the wall and running some 10-2 through it.
Speaker wire.
I'm sorry, speaker wire.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just gotta make them angry. Make them angry. Engage those comments.
I'd really love to see you take a box and put it in there, and then just like get it cut perfectly with cardboard around it, so it looks like you're actually inserting a
And
cardboard box.
put the metal faceplate on it also. What? I don't see anything wrong
Don't
here.
encourage him. Don't encourage him.
600
Yeah.
comments later.
So yeah, that's about it for me. What about you, Joey? Did you go? Did you go yet? I don't have the script up either. Thanks, Steve.
Welcome, guys.
I actually have it here, and Matt messed up by sending it to the other Matt. And I know
That's okay.
Anyhow, we'll
We're
get
just
it
gonna run
together.
with it.
Okay. So I am
Joey
still
first.
working out. Still working out in the shop. I'm gonna end up framing some more above what I've done, so I can get a little higher up on that wall. So I went and picked up some more levels. I got some more
Ah.
levels.
Couldn't find the
some
ones
more.
that you had, huh?
There's some more over here.
They're in a
And
box.
another one. Nope, they didn't come in a box. I was kind of bummed. They just came like this. So maybe I'll put them in a box so that I can open it and then take it out of a box. But anyhow, I got some levels because I can't find my levels. I don't know where they're at.
So the
They'll come
question
up.
is, if you're going to take those new levels that you just bought and you're going to put them in someplace safe so you know where they are the next time you need them,
We can find his other
where is
levels.
that? And that's where your other levels are going to be.
Exactly.
I think somebody that I'm friends with made some 3D printed devices that'll hold these on the wall. So that's probably what I'm going to try to see if I can get those files. So I can hang them somewhere where I won't misplace them. I'm just curious where my levels went. They're not here. So I don't know what happened to them.
I'm gonna laugh the day he asked where his track saw is. His track saw
His
for
There's the track there. Uncut.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uncut.
I got one about this long. I can send you.
It's
You
good for
animal.
cuts that big.
They're in a box. No, they're not. I don't know where I put them. I don't know where they're at. It'd be funny if they were sitting right there in that corner and I'd look over there and there they are. I got some new levels. Anyhow, so I'm going to be finishing up on that. I want to get that done so that I can coat the floor with that epoxy that our good friend over there from Blackthorn showed us. So I'm going to be using that bare coating to coat the floors. So I'm
Primer.
trying to get the wall done so that I can do that. What's that?
Primer. Is that what it is?
Primer.
Yeah.
Well, primer, and then it's a concrete epoxy that goes over the primer. So I did pick up the primer today because every time Keith messaged me, he's like, "Don't forget the primer." So I got it. It's here. We're ready to go. I just need to finish the wall. So probably around midsummer, I'll get the wall finished, and then we'll move on to the other stuff. You know, mustache has a big influence on me. But no. Been working on that, and that's about it. I haven't done really a whole lot. Still trying to get back into swinging things, having a little sluggish start to the new year after taking some time off. So after fixing that concrete slab, it took it out of me, really. So I'm trying to get back into the swing of things and finish that wall.
That was a big win, though. Fixing
It
that
was.
slab. Yeah.
And I was kind of curious to see because we got some big rains after that was finished, and everything seems to be holding up good. So still crossing my fingers and knocking on that wood that everything stays good. I just need to finish out that ramp on the backside so it'll put a little force into it. But I mean, even on those seams that I poured all that
Leveler.
what are we going to call it? Concrete or
Yes.
cement? Cement?
No.
Which one is it?
Concrete.
Cement.
No.
It seems to be holding. It seems to be holding. It seems to be holding up. So, yeah. I mean, I got a little bit more leveling to do up here in the front, which that what is it called? GLP? Is it GRA? Self leveling kit or that foam leveling kit.
Right.
It's called GRA Secure Set. That stuff is awesome. Highly recommend it. If you have, I mean, it lifted this foundation and saved me a ton of $100 bills. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
And I've been meaning to call those people and let them know, man, that stuff is awesome. I wish I would have filmed it, but it was too much going on just to show that stuff, how it picked up that slab. It was amazing because I had my doubts. I didn't think it'd do it.
Well, yeah,
really
once you get started, you gotta go.
Yeah, there ain't no messing around with that stuff. Once you go and you pop that can, those two propane looking bottles that mix, you go. There's no stopping. I mean, and it's just getting it. Are you sure it's called GRA? It's called GRA, or right? GRA Secure Set.
Yeah, but that's not the concrete that he was working with. It was that's the foam expansion stuff that goes underneath the slab and picking the slab up.
Yeah, that raises and levels the slab. Now, I will say they got plenty of videos. If you go to their website, just Google GRA Secure Set, and they've got a ton of YouTube videos, and just watch them. And don't get intimidated. It's not hard. It's just once you get moving with it, you got to go a little at a time, though. And if you do buy it, get you an extra gun and extra nozzles, and just do a little bit, because it will all of a sudden creep up on you and lift that slab too high. I mean, it worked good. You're supposed to do it in 2 stages. And on the first stage, it started jacking that concrete slab up. So I didn't have as big of voids as I thought I did. What ended up happening, Matt, you could probably explain this, is that I was getting a bulge effect. It was sinking on the outside due to the amount of water hitting, and it was dry in the type of soil that I have. It starts expanding in the center, correct? Am I explaining that right?
Yeah. Yes. So he has a cliche, as a clay, an expansive clay. And so it's the water allowed it to sink here, and it raised up here. And so he had to raise up his outside edges to make it match. And then he had to, his foundation around the outside edges it was allowing water to get straight up underneath it so he had to fill that in. So he ordered some soil to get that filled in, and then raised up his outside edges and got it all to match. Some places, like 2.5 inches?
Yeah.
So,
and it raised it. But I will tell you, though, if you're shooting that stuff close to the outer edges, you need to pack a lot of dirt and stuff in there, because the pressures, that stuff is going to find the weakest point, and it will shoot out like a missile. So you got to have that stuff compacted very well around the edges, and then just start little by little injecting, and you'll hear, and you'll actually feel and see the concrete slabs start moving on you and jacking up. It was pretty crazy, because you could hear the barn popping and creaking as that sucker was lifting stuff, which blew my mind. I was like, wow, this is pretty wild. I didn't think it would lift it, but it did. Made a believer out of me. And if y'all have ever priced somebody coming to jack concrete up, it's not cheap. So, what do you say? The slab my house sits on, and
that's the exact.
I would contact them and look at it, see if it's the right thing for you. Because you're talking about your house. I'm not going to tell you, yes, that'll work. I would call them, because they have different versions of it. And they're very helpful, those people. I'm not affiliated with them in no means. Matt found this company, and I did my research, and I took a gamble and tried it, and it worked. So, do your research, see if it's the right thing for you. Being that this is a barn, being that it's your house, I would highly recommend you contact a professional and see what they say, because these kits are not cheap. You're looking at about anywhere from about closer to $500 a set.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just putting it out there. It was worth the risk for me. What I was going to cost me, I was willing to gamble and try it, and it worked.
Yeah, you were in the thousands that you were fixing to spend. Yeah.
Probably looking at
prices going down.
about $10K to fix it. So, it was worth the gamble, and it worked. So anyhow, moving on. After that, I'm gonna finish working on the walls to get all my equipment back in order and everything. But that's about it with me. I've gone on long enough. How about you, Steve? Got it right.
Yeah, so same with me. A little bit of a slow start after the new year, but I've been spending some time in the shop trying to reorganize and I'm quickly filling up the 30 drawers in my miter station with all the stuff that I had wanted to put in there. And I'm also using the opportunity to kind of purge a lot of old stuff that kind of either old tools that, were inherited from my father or my grandfather and, that I no longer really need, or I've replaced with other versions. Going through and getting rid of the coffee cans full of nails. I don't think I've actually driven a nail in 15 years. So I don't know why I'm holding on to those. So
I'm curious, is it the same at your house as it is at mine? The more space that you have for storage and organization, the faster it fills up and the more less space that you have.
Yeah. I mean, I think the day I said, okay, the drawers are all done for right now, I'm going to start putting stuff in them. I spent about a half hour, 45 minutes, and I already had 7 drawers full. And I'm like, I haven't even touched the stuff that I actually wanted to put in here. So, it tells me one of two things. Either I have too much stuff or I'm not putting the right stuff in there. So I'm doing a little purge as well. And, because I'm quickly going to have to turn around and build the cabinets above the miter station or all the additional stuff that is not really going to fit in a drawer, like, aerosol cans or, paint cans and stuff like that. So finishes. But yeah, that's really all that I've got going in the shop this week. Just kind of organization and, getting ready to kick off some, I shouldn't say kickoff. I should say finishing some projects that are left over from last year. I've got a couple of guitars that I got to finish. I actually, do final sanding and actually put the finish on and, get those squared away. So,
yeah.
I've been meaning to ask you a question about that. For some reason, they've been popping up a lot, and there was and I don't know why, but there's an acoustic one that's in pieces to put together. I mean, basically not from scratch. I mean, the main body's done.
The kit.
The body, the neck, yeah.
You got to put the neck together. You got to put the what do you call the frets? I guess, right? Are they frets?
Yes, the frets are on the fretboard. They're the little pieces of wire that segment the notes.
That all has to be attached still. That's the fretboard is not on the neck.
Okay.
It looks like you have to attach that, but I was curious how difficult, like, will I need special equipment? I guess it's something you need to look at to tell me. Because if I need special equipment, that's Nick's. I'm not going to buy nothing because I'll never do another one. I just thought it'd be neat to put one together and finish it.
Yeah, you would need some special equipment to fret the guitar and polish the actual frets and level them. So the process is basically you take your fretboard, you glue your fretboard onto your neck, then with all the fret, they have to each be cut for individual because they're slightly different sizes as the neck tapers from the headstock down to the bridge. But those all get pressed in and you would need some form of a press. There's like a bunch of
Arbor
different
press.
versions.
Yeah, like a 40-ton arbor press, Joey, and you're golden.
Yeah, 40-ton arbor press, hydraulic. It'll work great.
Could
It'll
I use
really
that
put that in there?
elsewhere?
No.
Would that
Probably
be
not.
usable?
No. We're teasing. You don't need a 40-ton press.
I get it, but I'm trying to.
And
He's
you would need
trying-
some files.
He's trying to
You gotta-
sell this.
You
He's trying
gotta
to sell this.
justify it.
Yeah. To open up a bank account.
You would need
It's
some.
done now. Don't worry. It's
files.
over. That ain't gonna. Okay, files.
But what you can do is, if you have an interest in that, you can buy a kit where it's mostly together and the frets are already set and fretted. And you basically bolt the neck on, you put the tuners on, you attach the nut. So, you don't have to, there's like an intermediary. I'm clearly missing something.
You're not
Yeah.
checking the chat out.
There you go. Let me just put it up there. Let me just put it up there.
All right. There you go.
Well, that nicks. Thanks a lot, guys.
Jennifer, it's so that he can, play the guitar and sing and serenade you. Just
Should
think
that
about
be
it.
railed faster and not tightening up your handlebars?
Yeah.
They don't know about that, so don't even bring it up.
We know about what?
Yeah,
Hmm.
we'll
Oh,
just let that go. I ain't biting. You already got enough out of me. Anyhow, moving on.
Moving on to our main topic.
Can't tell this guy nothing. Nothing. Shut up, Joey. Shut up. Tyler. Why don't you explain a little bit about your company so any new listeners out there can get to know you and your company a little more. Jesus. Stop putting stuff in the chat.
Oh, thank you, Joey. I'm Tyler Collier, the founder, owner of Forge 3D. We do basically anything to try to improve people's workflow in the shop. I guess that's the easiest way to explain what we are trying to do. That can be shop organization. Anything to do with shop organization, bins, tool holders, and we've also now moved into vacuum work holding. The main, I guess, we are Festool Tanos adjacent, but of course, anything that we use, anything that we do can be used or adapted for other things as well. But coming from a Festool background or Festool usage background, you go with what you know. And if you're passionate about something, that's where you really got to start. And so when we were doing, when Forge was originally founded, there was a lot of things that we did in the shop from a prototyping and small batch manufacturing perspective that were making other people's stuff. And so when one of our larger customers' projects was coming kind of in and going from production to maintenance mode, I knew I needed to backfill that. And as opposed to backfilling it with chasing more customers to do B2B work, I thought that we would launch our own line of products. And by doing that, we would take things that we had done for our small batch manufacturer, our B2B business, to improve workflows in the shop, and then start offering those to the B2C world. So that started about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. And then earlier this year, we launched our SysGrip line, which would be our vacuum work holding, 2 different sibling pairs, our bench grip system, which would be our pod-based system that allows for vertical or horizontal work holding. And then at Texas Woodworking Festival, we introduced our Anchor Pod, which is our solution to basically turn your MFT or any work surface into a vacuum work holding work surface itself. And that can be used with a gasket. So you can just have Anchor Pod, in your work surface, throw a gasket down and turn on your vacuum and you're good to go. Or we also have a number of different pods that can actually interface with Anchor Pod. so that it can lift up your workpiece and allow you to address all sides of the workpiece for routing applications, sanding applications, CNC applications, pretty much anything that you can think of. But the primary thing with anything that we do is that it's your application, it's your workflow. We're not going to tell you how to how to work with it, and is say, okay, here's the building blocks, take it, adapt it, use it, and allow it to be used in however it's going to best fit your shop. Because, that's one thing that always does get me is when a tool manufacturer or an accessory manufacturer says, all right, here's this tool or accessory, and you can use it this one way. And that's not something that we want to try to do. We want to make it where if you have a crazy wild project that you want to do with it, then we're going to enable you to do it. And if you need help doing it, we're more than happy to try to figure out a way. Wackerly, for example, his diameter of his holes is just a little bit different than what we would typically offer. And so by being able to say, hey, can you do this? Yeah, we can do this. And allows a lot of flexibility for us, and then of course a lot of interface with the customers.
Cool. You do have a lot of cool hold downs, and I know that Tyler is going to end up coming out with a lot more this year. Steve's just been holding him back and telling him no.
That's right.
But it is a new year.
You're wrangling everybody in. What's up with
Apparently.
Yeah. We need some more stuff. We need some more stuff, Tyler.
Yeah. Well, so like I said earlier,
further behind.
Assist surface is our next thing, and this is, it's nothing really novel or groundbreaking, but it's just another interface element that we use in the shop, which is just a surface that sits on top of your sustainer stack. That's something that we've been using for a while. We've now had it in testing with a couple people and gotten some good feedback, and so we're now ready to put it out there. And it's just another way to work, be it mobile or in the shop. If you have a small shop space, if you're in the Tanos or the Festool ecosystem, what you typically have is quite a few sustainers laying around. And, if you can take that and, make that another, working element. So you can see it right here in the background for me, is just have a mobile work table that you can roll around in the shop if I'm loading or unloading my CNC. I need something that's right there next to it to capture that stuff. And I don't, but it doesn't need to be there all the time. Or how it really started for us was for a track saw. I always would take a track saw and I'd have a sustainer stack right next to me where I could put my track, I could put stuff and put my saw down. And the saw likes to run away from you. If you put it down too forcefully on top of ABS, it'll just take off on you. And so I wanted to have somewhere I could have a positive stop, an indexed element, where when I put the track saw down, that it had a place to stay. And when I did that, somebody asked, just like a lot of people, when they see a picture of something else that you have in the shop, they start asking, well, what's that in the background? What's that other thing that you have there? And starting asking people, and they thought it'd be something that they would like, and then showed it earlier this year and got some feedback. And then something simple that we can come out with to open up the space. But we'll have for the M series, the L series, and then for basically a 2-stack. So 2 stacks of sustainers, on top of a cart, so that you could actually fit, like Ronnie Fulton says, that's the perfect size for him to do finished carpentry work, because he can take the cordless Capex, the KSC 60. Is that right, Stevie?
Yes.
Yep. And as opposed to having the wings and everything just for simple work, he can drop it right there on top of it. It has dog holes on it, so you can interface with those to hold the saw down and just wheel it from location to location to do finished carpentry, not having to have a full blown setup for some things. So it's going to be interesting to see what people do with it, which is always a thing that we like to see, is what people take your creation and do with it. Like I said earlier, we have some new pods coming out for Anchor Pod. to kind of fill out that part of the family. Be doing a lot of stuff for the S76s this year because we bought a lot of Sustainer S76s for our kits. So we'll have a lot of things that we're going to be coming out with that. And what we did with the Forged Edition and the Versa and the Max kits did open my eyes up a little bit more of how useful the S76 can be, which is the very small Sustainer, especially with the new Thanos rack that allows you to hold. I think they have on Sustainer store, they have a two port version and then a 6-port version. That really opens up a lot of different things, because one of the things that was the most annoying about the old minis before they were the S76s was transport, getting them from point A to point B. So if you were in a mobile space, it didn't make a lot of sense to have them, because you couldn't really get them to where you needed them to, because they didn't interface with the rest of the Sustainers. And now with the racks or the ports, I'm not sure what exactly they're calling them, it really does allow you to make them mobile, or to organize them, or to store them, or to put them somewhere. And so it's opened up a lot of opportunities to customize and come out with different inserts for those, and for our products and maybe other products as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm using the heck out of them. I'm probably going to order a few more just to store all the different goodies I've gotten, because I myself, and you can also, if y'all don't know, if you can also get the inserts for them as well, correct? From you.
Right. So
you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So right now we've got Pod Dock. One thing that we try to do is, anytime we release something in one product family, we try to tie the other product families into it, because one thing, shop organization, and Wackerly came to my shop and was taken aback by size. It's grandiose and huge. His wife was, said the one thing a man never wants to hear. But keeping everything, everything has a place so that you can go right to it. It's one of my biggest frustrations right now when we're doing a lot of production stuff. I don't feel like anything has its place right now. But the S76, offered up a lot of opportunity. One thing that we heard a lot was we needed kits. We needed bundles for SysGrip. We wanted to be more a la carte, because, again, we don't know how people work. But with more feedback and seeing what people ordered, and then also getting a lot of the questions of what do I need to get, putting kits together made sense. And so we took the opportunity when we're putting a kit together. It's like, okay, let's put a kit together. But if we're going to put a kit together, we're going to put an entire kit together. That means not just you buy a bundle of pods, but those pods come with all the accessories that they need, and all those accessories that you need to have a place to go. And so, we'd already come out with the Pod Dock, but then we said, okay, let's completely kit it out and put them inside of a Sustainer so it's there. I mean, to the point where there's 3 mil of plastic at the bottom of the Pod Dock, and when you close the top, it is going to literally, compress down the pods to get them fit. I mean, there is absolutely no wasted space in those. And so those inserts are already available, and we'll start coming out with more inserts this year for the S76 for our products and for commonly used products in the space that would be, hard to source, but not so specific that it'd be for this one tool or this one tool, because that opens up a whole nother category of customization that gets really hard to do, because then somebody's going to say, okay, I have the Milwaukee, M12 installer, and I've got this accessory and this accessory for it, but I don't want that accessory for it. That's where, doing production stuff gets hard, is trying to customize, to a, say, for example, a 21.56 millimeter hole to hold a particular dog that somebody needs. No names, or not looking at anybody in particular on the screen right now. So that will be something that we do more of this year. some more organizers. So our sister org family is our bin family, and so we make just standard bins that would be made by Thanos for half heights. We make them for our pods, and there'll be some things coming out there this year to help better organize in the M89s or the sortainers. Coming up with storage for the FS Rails pods is something that, trying to come up with something for that, how we're going to tackle that, either in the sortainer family or like an M12 or a M112. So the shorter, or maybe M89 is something that we're going to tackle to make sure, again, we're organized, because that's feedback that we've gotten. Okay, I've got this pod, and I've got that pod, I've got this, and I've got that, and I want to put it all in one place. So all those things are coming this year, and probably earlier in the year. And then as we get later in the year, we'll have some things trying to target for TWF and SplinterCon again. Then we've got IWF this year. Still trying to decide if that's something that we want to exhibit at. I'm not sure. It's a little bit bigger nut than I may want to put out, because we're doing SplinterCon, of course, TWF, which is Texas Woodworking Festival. So yeah, a lot going on this year, a lot going on this quarter. It's amazing that January's almost half of the month was gone. And it's just like you said, Joey, like getting back into gear. I mean, we're 11 days into the month, and does not feel like we should be 11 days into the month yet. So
yeah, it looks like Jason Sullivan down there has some questions. He wants to know if you would custom do. I'm not going to read it all. Will you do custom logos on the products?
It depends. It's something that we've been asked. I've been interested in getting to like a UV printer, where that allows you to do a lot more customization and those types of things for sustainers. The problem with some of that is, with really being able to do it, you've got to do a lot of it, not to make it necessarily price competitive, but UV printers require you to be running them. Otherwise, they start malfunctioning. They really want to be run. It's kind of antithetical. Sometimes you think, okay, the less I run something, the more likely, or the less likely it is to break or wear out. A UV printer, those inks and stuff, they want to be chugged through those systems. They don't want to just be sitting there unused. So if you're not using them, you're really supposed to do a full deep clean, flushing, all this different stuff to make sure that they don't clog up and have problems. So it's something that we've talked about and we've looked at to even do more customization for ourselves, but also for partners that we already work with, because we have had that question. Space is an issue also for us for a little bit. I did found out, there's a space right. I've been looking at this space forever, because this it's right down from the house. It seemed like when we first moved down into Georgia, this place every 2 years would open up, like just, a constant churn of people, going into the space. And then with Forged and what we've done, there's been somebody there like for 6 years now, just solid. Well, a for lease and for sale sign popped up on it, I guess this week. And I dropped in at the end of last week to ask, what's the lease or what are they selling it for? Yes, it's not in the cards. Yeah, unless it's like it was like 7 acres, which I don't need 7 acres, but it's a 7-acre commercial set, and it's got like landscaping stuff. And I thought it was just one little plot of like acre and a half, but as soon as you crest the top of the back and go down, it's like another 5.5 acres down. And in Gwinnett County, 7 acres is it's sporty. I said, what about the lease? And the lease is stupid for the space as well. So it's not what I need, but it's where I want it to be. It's exactly where the physical location is exactly where I want it.
Well, you have talked about it a lot. You've talked about that place a lot.
I bet I can think of somebody else that would love you to have that space.
Yes. Yes, very much. so yeah, so we talked about doing some more customization things, but it's also hard to do custom one-off things. So like even we've got some people asking about different different size holes for anchor pod, for example, and we'll probably put out a 1-inch version, because there are some workbenches that have 1-inch dog holes for more traditional workbenches. So we'll probably come out with something with that. The problem there is the tolerances matter. I was joking with Wackerly. He already had some pre-existing dog holes, and I sent him like 5 different variations in like small increments, and the fitment, at those small increments matter. So
does.
when I say, I ask somebody, is it a 1-inch dog hole? And they're like, yeah, it's 1 inch. How did you measure said 1-inch dog hole? Did you get calipers on it? Did you? No, I put a ruler on it. Okay, no, get a set of calipers and, put it on there. And even that's going to be, questionable about where you center it. If you're not using, the inside measurements correctly. So these are all things that were challenged. 3/4 inch, 20 mil are pretty standard. I have had somebody tell me like the Bora 3/4 are not quite 3/4, so I'm going to have to get a Bora table in to do some testing on those. But doing custom things is always hard, from a timing perspective, from a production perspective, from a mixing up perspective. I had to keep Wackerly's custom ones in a completely different space because I was really scared that my help would grab those and start putting them together and start shipping them out. And
These don't fit.
These don't fit at all.
Don't get in the hole.
Oh God.
Yeah. So yeah, these are all things that are challenges as you start scaling up and are busy and have, help in the shop that sometimes doesn't pay the attention that they should. To the point where, we literally changed colors of inserts this year to make sure that M5 and M6 inserts could not be confused with one another because people
Dark brown or light brown?
Oh,
The brown.
blue and orange, baby.
Blue and brown. Gotcha.
So I'm going to ask, has launching this met your expectations of and exceeded it?
Yes, we're lucky. I'm lucky to have good friends in our little corner of the world that have been supportive. Be it you guys, be it Jason or Sedge or Ronnie or guys at 3 Splinters. Getting the exposure has been great. It's been overwhelming. After Jason Bent's video dropped in November, it was overwhelming. The response, a great overwhelming, and could not say anything bad about it. But it was a big bump. And the thing that, for setting aside growing a business or monetary benefits or anything like that, the biggest thing is, to me, the positive feedback on the product. This helped me do things better. This was well thought, appreciating the thought that goes into things, even something as simple as the packaging, something as simple as somebody noticing little things that I notice, like selecting all of our fasteners that need adjustment to be 4 millimeter, so that you use the same tool across all the different elements to adjust and to interface with. Those were decisions made. I was putting a treadmill together today, and it said M6 and M5 and 3/8 inch socket head, and then something else. And I was just going, my son was asking me, why are you so upset with them? I'm like, well, there's an M6 bolt, and then there's an M5 bolt, and the M6 takes a 4 millimeter, and the M5 is, flat. and this one over here is a socket head 3/8, so it needs a imperial, and I was like, this is the most frustrating thing to me. And when somebody put a review up, I don't know, a week or two ago, after having got everything, and said, having the same adjustment across everything was the nicest thing about it. Great. That's the nicest thing about it. I appreciate it just because it's something that, I thought about and made sure that when we develop something that we stick with that, so it carries across the entire product line, as best we can. There's going to be times where we can't do it. But right now we basically like two standard sizes, 2.5 mil, which never has to be adjusted typically, and then 4 millimeter, so that goes across, the M6 fasteners we choose, or the M5 fasteners that we choose. We make sure that we stick with a 4 millimeter head if we can. Because when you don't, you're putting together a treadmill and you're cursing it because
I got to get up and go get this one. I got to get up and go get that.
Got all the, or you have to just deal with the crap tool that they put in the box because it happens to be there, and you don't want to have to walk across and get the other one.
Great, now it's stripped.
Exactly. So it has exceeded. The feedback has been great. I won't lie and say it's been more work than I thought it would be. It's not something that I could do alone, be it with support from the family, having my sons, work for me. It's not something that, could do by myself. Could not do it without, guys like you being interested in the product and putting us on the show, and then reaching out and saying, hey, we want you to sponsor. It couldn't be possible without, Jason, Bent, putting out a video, or Sedge sitting down for the first time we met for 2 hours and, giving feedback on things, or, just the wider community of folks that I've met in the maker space. None of it would be possible, without the entire community, no matter how hard I want to grind, how many hours I want to put in, none of it would be possible without, all of that. And then of course, my wife, being supportive or accepting,
understanding,
or tolerant, or I do come into the room and there's a lot of Lifetime on. I'm not sure if that tells me anything. She's
Murder mysteries.
Exactly.
How to get away with murder.
I think all our wives are planning it at some point, because they all
we
watch
can't let
the
them.
same stuff.
We can't let them all talk. I know
No.
Joey and Matt. I know y'all's talked, but we need to. So.
But I tell you what, it has been cool to watch. We haven't been, some of us haven't been around from the get-go, but watching this progress to what it's evolved to now, the tweaks you have made, like you said, even from the packaging, that was one of the things. When somebody takes the time to 45 tape on a box, you, that is just, when I got it, I was like, look at this guy. He knew the little details.
He knew who that was going to, Joey.
Just tickling for Joe.
Yeah. And but no, it's cool. The product, how I was fortunate to get some of the stuff and just see what you've changed it to, and the little details with the lasered Forge 3 logo, all that kind of stuff. It just adds to it. And then your packaging, everything. It's like when you open it, you have everything in there. It's all nice and neat, and it works amazing. I mean, we've all tried it. Steve hasn't, because he's still on the friends and family list, but
He's still waiting for his order.
but I can tell you what, but it is awesome. When you get it, you will love it.
Steve, I'm here to reassure you. It's real nice. It really is.
Oh, I know it is. We joke. We joke. No, I have some of his products, and they're awesome. I think the thing that has been very interesting from my standpoint to watch, not only the company grow, but you can really tell that everything that you're putting out is very well thought out, because of it all fits into a system. Mm-hmm. And it's not just a one-off product and then another one-off product. And it's all of these products fit together, and you use the term, I think, families of products in the different system. And it's just one big giant system, and it all works together. And to see that evolve, and to the point where you started packaging things in kits, and seeing how that you've brought multiple products together in those kits is just fascinating, and it's great from my standpoint.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't imagine the hours. I know he would call, like, hey, I need you to look at this. We need to look at this. You know, I'm putting this kit together, and I can tell you what, this man has thought out and rethought out and thought out again, and probably sitting there in his skivvies at night redoing stuff. You know,
You need that image.
Joey
Well,
with the
you know.
images, I'm telling you.
but you know, it just, when you get those kits. Sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you, but you know, don't drop us just yet. Just give us a little more time to embarrass you more.
Give us another week to really make it.
Yeah. We'll do a good job, bud. I'm telling you. But you know, when you get these inserts in the S76s, everything is so laid out in there, and he packed them, like he said, he jam-packed them with everything in there. It's like, it just blows your mind how everything has its place, and he utilized everything. There's nowhere to put anything else.
No.
At all, but it's well thought out, and it's neat. You know,
and not only it's not, and then it's got a tool that he's got in there.
Argus? Is that what
Oh
it
my
is?
God, that thing is amazing.
I
Yes,
got probably
that right there. Yes.
10 of them.
Yeah.
I think every time I ordered, I was like, add another one.
So just an example of the design that I was talking about that I've said is fascinating. So talk a little bit about that. It's just not a tool. You designed it for multiple purposes.
So the genesis of Argus, and some people on the show have probably heard this before, but you know, it is probably one of my favorite little things that we've made, just because. So I have what we call our anchor plugs on my MFT style table that I have in the shop, and those are just magnetic bench hole covers. And you'll see 3D printed versions of this, but ours are magnetic stainless steel. And so that means that you need a magnet to take them out. And so I have a mag switch that I'd used forever, and it sits right here behind me on my bandsaw, because I use it as a positive stop on the bandsaw. And so I take it and I take my plugs out, and then I set those aside, and I can then use the dog holes for whatever I want to use them for. And then I've also always adjusting, especially for me, I'm always adjusting pods on the table or adjusting anchor pods on the table, because I'm doing testing or doing other things with it. And so I am moving things around probably more than most. But, even if I was just using it for, operations, we have 2 pods on the front of the table that are at a far distance. But if I'm working with a small piece of stock, I've got one that pretty much lives in one place, and I can slide the other one in place so I can use it on. And I'm always having to find a tool for that. And so one day I'm sitting there and I'm like, I have a good way to tackle this, which is design a tool that takes care of, the 4mm, tooling need, the magnetic need, but I need a place to put it where I'm not always looking for it. And I've got a, field of dog holes that you could put something in, and they're going to stay there, and it's always going to be there. And so that's what the genesis of Argus was literally for me needing something. And that's how a lot of almost everything that we have in the shop has started, is as a need for us. And so I designed it up for me, and for me to use in the shop. And I reached out to my CNC guy that does our aluminum production stuff, and said, hey, how do we build this? And the biggest thing, of course, is how do you embed the magnet correctly in it to make sure that you don't break the magnet. And he said, yeah, we can do that, and send me the design drawing of what you want. Sent it to him. And then he gave me a price on the prototype, and I went, ugh. And I really just wanted it. And so I said, okay. And he sent a couple different variations, of the aluminum version, which is what we released, and the stainless version, which was way too heavy. It was way like 2.5 times one of these. And if it rolled off it was, and I joke you not, it was really made as a decision from a safety perspective, because if you did happen to put this down on your table and this rolled off the table and it was the stainless version and you weren't in a safety approved shoe, you'd have a bad, you would have a bad day. You would have a very, very bad day. And so that was the genesis of Argus. It's just a simple tool that fits in a 20 mil hole. That's magnetic, that allows me to remove anchor plugs out, and then you can put any driver in it. Mine pretty much stays with the 4mm driver because that's what I'm typically using on the table. But now I have them scattered across the shop, to be able to use anywhere, everywhere. And it's just the simplest tool, and it can also be used just as a positive stop on the table. So if you need something to register against, you can drop it in a dog hole, you register something against it, and it can be a positive stop that way as well. So it's a simple thing that was born out of frustration of having to find, one, a tool to adjust things, and two, a magnet to take plugs out. So it's the simplest thing, but it allows a lot of flexibility, and to put it in the kit made the complete sense. And so, when you're trying to find a place to put it, you're like, okay, I've got to put that in the kit so that it fills it out, and puts this in the kit, and put the anchor pod in the kit. And the anchor pod's really too tall for an S76, unless you position it literally right over the foot detent that, where the foot on the bottom of the sustainer is. So people have asked, why is the anchor pod positioned? It's the star of the show. Why isn't it dead center? Because that's where it would fit. It would fit in the corner. That's where it would fit. Even to the point where, me being way too me, launching anchor pod. So we've got the core, which is literally just anchor pod. And so by itself, you don't get anything else. If you want to build your own custom gaskets, you want to use your own custom way, core is the way to go. We've got anchor pod foundation, which is the foundational kit. And that's anchor pod, 4mm T handle, not Argus, but just a 4mm T handle, 1500 mil of hose, and 2 gaskets. But me being me, I needed packaging to put it in. And so, as opposed to just having a cheap foam package, we did a little bit upgraded foam that's cut to fit in the S76 when you get it, so that you can take it out of the box, and then you can put it in S76. You have a place to store everything, as opposed to just doing foam packaging that you toss away. And if people toss it away, it hurts. But it's something that is just trying to think through how somebody's going to be using the kit, being able to store the kit. If you're using the kit all the time, you're probably not going to take it out of the table, but having a place to take it if you do need to. But if you're mobile, because everything that we try to build, we think about it from a mobile perspective as well, because a lot of us are hobbyists. I've got a lot of professional guys, cabinet guys that are using product. So you got to think both ways. It can't just be a set and forget. Always has to be in a permanent table. It's always, got to be thought of as both in a shop space. It needs to be for guys that don't have a permanent shop. The number of people I talk to that, have to break their MFT down and set it up to the side to get it out of the way because they don't have a dedicated workspace is something that you have to think about when you're building a product, that it has to be easy, for a customer to be able to use it. Because if they're not using it, then, unless you're Joey and it just sits in the box, it's the thing that you got to think about. So all those folks are what we think about when we're trying to build product. And it's interesting to talk to folks to know.
And that's why I went the S76 route.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Put it up, take it out. And organization's great. If you got it where you need it, where it's at, go right to it, take it off the shelf, take it out of the rack. It's there, it's ready to work with, and you don't have to be going, oh, no, where's this other part? You know, all you got to do is remember to put it back in the box.
It's right over by his levels.
Exactly.
Too soon?
Too soon. Too soon.
Okay.
Too soon, Steve. Too soon. I know those suckers are gonna wind up coming up somewhere. And
Joey, don't feel bad. You're going to find them. How do I know that? Because this week,
Oh, you found out
youngest son-
Pantoro?
that's way too.
What would you do with a brain if you had one?
Son, my youngest went to our warehouse space where we have store of a lot of filament and supplies and things to try to maintain a somewhat of a level with the not storing at all in the shop and garage and shop space and cover really annoy the wife, and so he lost the key to the lock. This is the second key he's lost. Locks come with 2 keys, so now you have no keys. Drill the lock. Opened it, replaced the lock. I drilled the lock, replaced the lock. I came home. I was walking up the front steps, and there was the key on the ground next to the front step.
awesome.
That's where it goes.
That's exactly where it goes.
Yeah.
And so I take off.
I thought I put it under the mat.
I was very annoyed. So I take the key off and I put the new key on, and I put the key back where it goes. And he comes in and I tell him this. And he picks up this one. I'm like, yeah. He goes, where was it? I was like, next to the front step. He's like, so this is the old key? I'm like, no, that's not the old key. The old key is gone. I've tossed the old key. That is the new key. The old key we could use it on the old lock. I'm like, son, I drilled the old lock.
The key's that big now.
The key will not fit there anymore. And he looks at me and goes, oh.
Sometimes it's just worth not even mentioning it, Tyler. Just
Sometimes.
Sometimes
yeah.
you just look at him and you're just,
What?
Oh,
You belong to your mom. You belong to your mom. Stop.
Oh, so yeah.
But
So you'll find it. You will, now that you have the new levels, you'll be up. You're going to be up leveling something with the new levels at a different perspective, and you're going to look over, and that's when you're going to see the old levels.
what I'm waiting on is that one of these boys, they took it and they didn't tell me, even though I've asked them, and they said we wouldn't take that. And I go look in their toolboxes, and those things are in there. Yeah.
Those are used. You got new ones. That's okay.
You know how long I looked for them that night, and it's like you can't misplace that. But I did. I did not misplace it.
They're in the wall, Joey.
Yeah.
They're not in the wall.
ply.
That would
I
be
think that-
hilarious.
I almost took that piece of plywood off just to feel in there to make sure that it's not in there.
Oh,
Yeah, I told you.
But there's no way that I
There's
walked
always
up
a way.
level.
There's always a way.
I just don't understand where I put this level, because we were using it on the concrete and it's just gone.
I said the same thing about my phone one time until I walked by the slab and the slab was ringing. So
Hello.
That was just your coworkers messing with you.
no, it was one of those old Nokia brick phones. You know what I'm talking about? The ones that
Yeah,
didn't
the candy
die.
bars.
Yeah, it rang
Mhm.
forever.
Well, for a day.
Oh, those are indestructible. They'd run forever.
Hey, I had one of those. Those things were good.
Yeah,
Yeah. Who didn't have one of those?
Everybody.
had one game on it. Snake.
changeable face plates and buttons. Oh baby, customize that.
It's just
Those
those
were the
things that get
expensive ones.
super freaking hot when you talked on them a long time. Did y'all ever
Yes.
experience that?
Yeah.
It
Oh
would-
yeah. My
Right.
favorite was when they were sitting on your desk next to your computer speakers, and all of a sudden your computer speakers would start glitching. And you go, "Oh, I got a call coming in." And like
Yeah.
3 seconds later, the phone rings.
Yep.
Heck,
Oh,
I even
yeah.
remember having a cradle that would go in, and I think it had speakers or something. Like it was like a car mount, right?
Yeah,
Did y'all ever see that for that phone? I know I, had
think
one.
so. I think I'm.
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember the old 30-pin docks for like iPods.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I still got a Bose speaker that's got that dock on it. Yeah, for the original
Motorola
iPod
bag
Touch.
phone. Motorola bag phone.
Oh
Who had one
yeah.
of
Oh,
those?
yeah.
I
My
didn't
dad
have one of
did.
those, but I know people who had them.
Yeah,
My
I didn't
dad
have
had
one.
one.
My dad had. My mom had one. Yeah.
Back in the
Razors.
early, like I think it was it could have been 89, 90.
Back in the
Yeah,
1900s.
early 90s. Early
1900s.
90s.
My cousin had it wired in his truck where it would honk his horn when he would get a phone call. Did y'all ever witness that?
No.
Thing would just
Not from that one,
Oh
no.
yeah, yeah. It was custom done. I mean, they wired that Motorola phone to where it'd make his horn honk because he owned a construction company, and it would honk his horn when that phone would go off, and you'd see him running like he'd be at the house, getting something done at my dad's shop, and you'd see him run. You hear that horn honk, and he'd be running across the yard to pick up that phone call. I still remember it to this day.
My favorite ones were the Nextels when they
Oh,
came
yeah.
out. The beep beeps.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dock. Yeah.
You'd get a call and didn't matter that
Dude,
you wanted that call.
I kept that Nextel in my left pocket, and still to this day I get like phantom rings. I go into my pocket and I'm like, I don't even have a phone on me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which was the one that was that the Nextel with two-way radio?
Yep.
Yes.
That's the one y'all talking about?
Yep.
Beep beep.
Beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in college, and a friend of mine interrupted us and with some choice words, and the teacher goes, "Excuse me." I'm like, it was him.
It was him. So I took a call from a buddy, and I said, "Hey man, I'm going to the bank. I'll call you right back." He said, "Okay." And it wasn't. I mean, I'm sitting there filling out the deposit slip, and all of a sudden it goes beep beep, and he's got a. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah.
Oh man.
And here I am scrambling for my pocket.
He really does.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a story for another show.
Mhm.
Man.
Speaking of which,
Maybe. Yeah. We probably need to stick a fork in this one, huh?
Yeah.
Mustache,
Yep.
you got something
Bring
you
us
want
back, Steve. Bring us back. I do have something. We got some awesome people out there supporting the show, and I'll put our lower tiers on the screen here, and I will announce our top tier, starting with Dawn from What's Next Woodworking, Victor from Whim Designs, Tyler from Forge 3D, Steve from Steve I Designs, Mike from Lido's Woodshop, Jonathan from John 4225. We thank all tiers for your support. And if you are interested in supporting the show, we got some stuff coming down the pike. And you can go over to, if I can find the link, supportcmp.com, and that will bring you over to our Patreon page. You can pick your tier, and we thank you in advance, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We got a lot of cool things coming up this year. Tyler, thank you. He's going to be supporting some giveaways for our Patreon group. So be good if you get in there. We're going to try to do some more classes this year. We've got a lot of things coming up. Some stuff we're still lining out to get work in and figure out how we're going to do some of these classes. But I know Steve's class was a big hit, and a lot of people are looking forward to more coming from Steve, which we all are. So maybe you need to pencil that into that Excel spreadsheet there, Steve, and do the next class. And maybe we can get our sponsor here, Forge 3D, to come in and maybe do a class on something. We've got some things coming. Coming. And but yeah, we thank everybody. And anything else from anybody else?
Share the show. Give us some likes and
subscribe.
iTunes.
Yeah.
Leave us a
iTunes,
review.
And just remember, on the tiers in our Patreon group over there, make sure you read through them, because each one has a specific how would you put it?
Advantage, maybe.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. And
Perks.
we're
Set of
going to have
benefits.
some different
Perks.
things come out throughout the year. So
Mhm.
we're looking forward to that. And it's always fun. We had a big turnout on our monthly meetup this past one we had. And looking forward to talking and getting to meet new folks. We had a few on there, and it seemed, hopefully they didn't cancel. So it seems like they had a good time. It was a quite interesting one and a late one, but it's always good to hang out with everybody. And yeah. So until next week, I believe that's all we got.
Yep.
Podcast
We're gonna
drops
be
on
coming up-
Thursday.
Yeah.
It's in the notes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every Thursday.
Every
True.
Thursday.
Every Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And
Facts.
please remember, once this show ends, if you don't mind, come back in and leave a comment. Make sure you can click that thumbs up button now. That helps us out. Thank you for listening on the audio podcast part. If you go on there and download, leave us a review on Spotify or iTunes. We greatly appreciate it. The downloads help. We like to see those numbers going up, and they have been going up, and we appreciate everybody that hangs out here on Sunday and that also listens. All that helps out, and we appreciate it. And, if you have any questions, we want to try to work in some segments into this show where we answer questions. If you have anything to do with Tyler's product, most of us are well versed on it. If
Mhm.
not, we can get an answer from Tyler. But please, his links are down below. Go look at his products. They're very, very good. I cannot say enough about them. We've all used pretty much all of everything that he offers, and they work great. My favorite being the track saw vacuum. What are those called? Because I can never get that one right.
The FS Rail Maximus pods is the best
the
way to
Mac-
say
yeah.
it. So they fit the FS Rail. If you completely stock or cut down, fits both of them. It fits the Festal, the Milwaukee, basically any of those that have the civil extrusion plat. The Bosch MFL, it doesn't fit those, but most of the others out in the market it does fit. And we're always available, to email us or to chat with us on the website. And if it needs more than just a quick chat on the website to ask questions, we also can get you a link to schedule a call, a 15-minute call to go over the product to help you walk through it before, and then we can build things out and send you out things and all that jazz as well. So it can kind of customize and fit things together to do a consult call if we need to. Real short, 15 minutes to walk you through it. And we've got some content that we'll be doing now that things have slowed down a little bit, is to do some more content on the difference of the different products, the different families of the products, the different siblings of the products. So we'll have more visuals for people to be able to reference.
Nice.
Awesome. Cool deal. And for all your scroll saw questions, please contact Steve I Design. He is very, very well versed in that.
I'm not the one that has the door stop. That's Mustache.
And you know, we got to pick on you. Anyhow, until next week, same time, same place. We'll see y'all. If y'all have, again, if you have any questions, please email us at creativemakerspodcast@gmail.com, or you can message us straight on our Instagram. We'd appreciate that. We'd like to throw those segments in and work them into the show where we can answer them. I think that'd be cool. Everybody always has questions about something, you know, and yeah, that's about it. All right. We're going to kill it. That it? Anybody else got anything?
I think that's it.
Good.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys.
That's it.
Roll the reel.
Alrighty. Bye.